Welcome to a special bonus episode of Shop Talk Live. Today's episode is filmed live on the show floor of AWFS in Las Vegas. And this episode is sponsored by the folks over at Shaper Tools. Logan Whitmer from Popular Woodworking and I talked to Zach and Shawn from Shaper, and they tell us a little bit about new stuff that's going on at Shaper, but more importantly, they tell us about some of the things that are going on in the woodworking community that they're excited about and how folks are using the Shaper origin in ways that really gets them excited. So without further ado, here we are live at AWFS. So we are here at the Shaper booth at AWFS, which I always get that one wrong, and I all of a sudden blanked on it, but man, I pulled that out right at the last second.
You got it.
AWFS in Las Vegas. And we're here with Zach and Shawn. I don't remember anyone's last names. So
Zach Dunham.
And I'm Shawn Kirsch.
Shawn Kirsch. Shawn, yeah. I should have rememred because that's part of your Instagram handle, isn't it?
That's true.
So that's on
not
me.
working.
No.
Awkward.
and with the awkward is Logan.
Oh, that lead in.
Wow,
Did you see that?
segue.
Yeah, I know.
Zing!
Really good.
I figured I had to go lower than our guests.
That's fine.
With yours.
Yeah, that's fine.
So if I screwed theirs up, I got to really go in low.
Yep, that's right.
So, Zach, you have the cutest little giveaway things here. Can we just get that out of the way?
Oh.
Can you describe to the audio-only audience what you made? Like what?
What is
They're
this
like
thing
these
we're
perfect
holding?
little containers. They remind me of a teeny tiny shaker box almost.
Yeah, teeny tiny shaker box.
Teeny tiny shaker box, perfectly press fit together with, and how would one make something so perfectly press fit together like this?
All right. Well, yeah. What I'm holding is about a 2-inch tall little gift box. It's got a lid on it. It's made out of ash. This one that I'm holding, it was designed by our coworker Andy, who's a trained master joiner. He works in our Germany office.
Oh.
And here, wait, Shawn, I'm gonna put my mic down for a second. Here, let me see. You tilt your microphone. So
Ooh,
that's the fit on that little box.
I got that.
And this is our demo for BenchPilot, which is what we're here at AWFS celebrating.
So BenchPilot was a surprising offering. Do you want to give like the quick lowdown?
Sure.
For people who are listening who haven't heard anything
It's very
about it?
simple. Well, if you know Origin, it's very simple. It's autopilot for Origin.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah. So it's like a set it and forget it kind of walk away ish.
Yeah.
I know we can't actually
I like
promote
our
walking
CTO
away.
wouldn't say that it's okay to go lights out and walk away with anything like that. But yeah, it's essentially what allows you to go hands-free with Origin. So Origin, and this is, I guess, even almost somewhat comical, right? Origin is a handheld CNC router.
Yeah.
And BenchPilot allows you to go hands-free when you want to, but stay hands-on with Origin when you need to. So you can clip it in when you want it to cut in an autopilot mode, and then you can unclip it and take it where you need it when you want to stay hands-on with Origin.
So what's the cutting size area of the rig?
Yeah,
So the max cutting size area is about 18 by 18 inches.
Okay.
And depending on the configuration you have set up, you can have different sizes. So with workstation set up on it, that gives you kind of the standard workstation features, and that's a little smaller range.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take workstation off, you can build your own jig to make it a bigger area. And then you can also build a bigger jig that allows you to pass through material and move it and cut areas and then move it, cut a little bit more. And so there's some really interesting different ways to set it up, and it really depends what you're doing with the tool.
So with BenchPilot, you can actually still do tiling.
Yes.
Oh, and
Yeah,
that's still all done like in the machine, the brain.
Yeah, so it's actually really interesting. The way that this tiling works is a little bit different than most CNCs. With Origin, we have the tape plane. So the tape is what references all the designs. So, let's say you have a 10-foot long piece of material that you want to cut a bunch of things in. Tape it up, put your files on it. As soon as you place the files there, they're in relationship to the tape. So now you just need to feed it through, cut everything that can be cut in the area, and then pull it. It doesn't matter if it shifts a little bit or is different because the tape is what determines where the things are going to get cut.
So you could, like in theory, kind of tile the world.
Yeah.
Tile the world. We're getting like whoa crazy ready. But like if we pull way back, BenchPilot is essentially a platform, a gantry system, if you will.
Yeah.
Moves in an X and a Y, and it replaces your hands. of driving Origin around. So all the videos that you've seen us put out for years, Origin's been out for almost 10 years now.
Has it really been 10 years?
Yeah.
2017.
Quiet. You be quiet. It has not been out that long.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting there a couple years away from
it makes me feel
10
old.
year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And in terms of like the early development of it, stuff starting back at MIT. So we're definitely at 10 years from when some of the first articles were getting published about the research. So it just takes over for your hands. It is just doing big, dumb vector driving motions. Origin is still responsible for all the precision motion and precision movement.
That's the genius aspect of it, though.
Yeah.
Because like you don't need to build like this super overkill heavy duty gantry that like, because the precision is still built into the tool.
Yeah. Okay. So CNC nerd speak, if I may.
I'm here for you.
Yep.
Okay. Is there? We got
Logan's
questions
gonna fall
like,
asleep,
but is it closed loop? Is it open loop? And it's
Okay.
like, well, it's kind of neither because there's a vision system,
There is no loop.
Yeah.
right? So
So mechanically, it's very simple.
Yeah.
And Origin does a lot of the smarts to decide what's happening.
Right.
So Origin detects that we're not moving if something's going wrong and retracts and says, hey, I was unable to get to the spot I needed to get to. And so, the motors aren't doing that. It's Origin's figuring that out from the vision system.
which means ease of use of Origin
Yeah.
now with automated motion control. So we didn't make crazy complex CNC machine
Yeah.
interface for this for BenchPilot. That's the big takeaway.
And if you're comfortable using the Origin, it is literally just like
Flip it in,
flip it in and
Yeah.
go.
hit the big green button.
There's basically no difference between using Origin manually and using it with this.
Yeah. Well, and I think what's kind of cool here, you guys have Origin set up with BenchPilot on Workstation, but you don't have to have it with Workstation. You could, if you were feeding a long piece through, it could just run without Bench or without
Yeah.
Workstation. Right?
Yeah, and one of our first videos that we dropped, we made a guitar body. And that guitar body is on a blank that's, what would you say,
2 inches thick.
2 inches thick and probably 36 inches long.
Yeah.
And it's, 12 inches wide?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be longer than Workstation and wide and a bigger cutting area, but that body fits within an 18 by 18 inch square, and so you can cut that whole guitar body out in one go on BenchPilot. But BenchPilot in that scenario is just mounted directly to your table.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking a little bit yesterday, and like you just said, do it in one go. But you can also stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like if all of a sudden, like you need to go pick up the kids,
Yeah.
you can just shut it down.
Yep.
And then move it out of the way, even.
Yep.
And then it's going to reference off the domino tape. Or we're not allowed to call it domino tape, are we?
Shaper tape, but sure, you
Shaper
can
tape,
call it what you
whatever.
want here, man. Call it, your
Jeez,
show.
man.
Domino tape. Maybe that's a trademarked term somewhere.
But then it's just referencing off of the shaper tape. So a week later, you're like, oh, let me finish that cut.
Correct.
You could just pick it up where you left off.
Well, I think what was really cool is, kind of the same thing. When you were showing this to us yesterday, you can stop it in the middle of the cut, and as soon as you stop the cut, all the motors disengage, so you can just push it out of the way and look at what's happening.
And as a traditional gantry CNC user, that was messing with my mind, by
Yeah,
the way. I was like,
it's-
he's just shoving it all over the place.
It's like you're reaching into the machine and grabbing the spindle and saying,
Yeah, kind
it
of.
looked really dangerous,
Yeah.
but it's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a huge part of like interacting with the tool. With Origin, you're hands-on, and it's a little different than CNCs, where you're making changes as you're going. You're deciding, hey, I don't like the way this is turning out. I'm going to actually change directions halfway through. And BenchPilot has the same ability where you can be in the middle of a project, stop it, start thinking through what's going on, change your approach, and right on the tool. And then continue. Or if you like it, you just hit go and it picks up where it left off. So there's a lot of flexibility. The same flexibility with Origin exists with BenchPilot because that's what people are drawn to. And what we're finding, that's the difference between setting something up once and hitting go, and if you have to change it, going back to the computer versus being at the tool and being able to make adjustments on the fly.
Well, and the thing that's so powerful about being at the tool, you're visualizing the piece of wood through the camera. You're looking at the piece of wood. You're laying out the parts for the chair or whatever, making sure the grain is nice and straight, however you want it. And you're doing everything on the tool with the actual piece of wood that you're about to cut. And you're looking at what the cut is going to be. And then to take that and add the convenience of like, oh, I can go,
edit a website or something, like after while this is happening, and do my day job.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever do stuff like that, but so it's just bringing the best of all of these worlds together. But the thing that's killing me about it is I've always wondered if Shaper is a software company or a hardware company. And this is just proving it again, where it's I think we've even talked about it before, where it's there is no divide between the two for you. Where this product, BenchPilot, is so powerful because you've been focusing on the whole environment and using the software, using the hardware. And now this is just another piece of hardware that just flips right in.
Yeah.
And it's still the same unit that you know and love.
Well, and I think going back to Zach's nice ash box here, I held on to that one since he was talking about it.
Oh man,
I know, right?
Team Ash box. Can't take credit myself.
All right.
Okay.
All right. What's cool, I think, and what we haven't really talked about, here, BenchPilot's set up with Workstation.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, you can work on the ends of parts.
Yeah.
Which is not something that a lot of CNCs, until you get into super high dollar CNCs.
No, you got to really want it.
Yeah, you have to really want it.
Or you really hack your CNC.
Yeah, no, it's doable, but again, it's a not easy thing.
You got to really want it.
Yeah.
So these guys, you guys are running these off of what, 2x2 stock?
Yeah, I think it's
held on end.
Yep, held on end, and we've got 6 of them in a fixture. Hopefully we can get a little bit of B-roll or put a picture of this somewhere. But they're held on end. There's 6 up. And then nice Shaper Festool collab moment here.
Yeah.
We take these tops and bottoms, and then we zip them off with the little sustainer saw that we have here.
Yeah.
Very convenient, and then they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's tucked away right behind.
So it's like a
BenchPilot.
production line.
It's a production line, and that's really what we're trying to highlight here is that it's not a robot. It's a CoBot, right? So like as Sean's saying, you go over here and you go over and you hit pause,
trademark.
you check out the offset, and then you walk over to the sustainer saw, you zip them down, then you change your fixtures. You got the fresh stock in the fixture that you just built, and put it into BenchPilot, and rinse and repeat.
Yeah. And if in the middle of it you need to cut out a template for something else, you grab the machine and go.
Grab the machine and go. But you were going somewhere with that. So one side, yes, vertical, and then the other side, we're doing this
horizontal.
Horizontal.
And the vertical stuff is, this is just a very simple box that, but think of all the joinery that's going to come out of this and the types of things that people do with
Chair
the
parts.
workstation.
Yeah.
But now you hit the green button and you get another thing, and you replace the stock and you hit the green button once and you get it again. And the speed of which you're cycling through the shop is super important, especially as a single woodworker in your own shop.
Yeah.
Your time starts disappearing with tools and you're running them. And now with BenchPilot, you're actually able to do other things while some of these more monotonous tasks get taken care of.
Yeah.
So talking about joinery, I have to apologize to everyone at Shaper, because the entire time, every time you have mentioned box joints, I've just been like, yeah, right. No, nobody's doing box joints on the Shaper. No, but so then all of a sudden one day, Mike goes, man, Pekovic.
Okay.
He goes, man, box joints on the Shaper is really awesome. I was like, what is happening here? You're like the table saw god.
Yeah.
And then I'm talking to Larissa. I'm like, yeah, but you don't actually do box joints on the Shaper. She's like, no, if I'm doing box joints and there's no constraints, I'm absolutely using the Shaper. And I've never thought that it was as much of a joinery machine as it is proving to be, as more people who I really respect and trust are like, no, this is a joinery machine. That's the primary use for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, when you think about box joints in how they've been made historically was very specific to the diameter of the bit you're using or the size of your table saw.
Yep.
And you have basically one jig where you can do a very set spacing.
Yeah.
With Origin, we have what you're talking about, those hardware and software combined. We have a tool where you type in your width and your height and how many pins you want, and you have variable spacing.
And you're touching off of the actual
Correct.
widths, right?
Yeah. So it's
so you're just saying, I don't even know how wide this board is. I want 15.
I want 5 pins,
Yeah.
and then you type in the width, and it just does all the math to space them out for you versus saying, man, I really don't like the spacing of these 1/4 inch cuts every space. I actually want a much bigger, you can really play with even the layout if you have something like Studio where you're making variable size, where like you have a bunch of pins in the middle that are tiny and some big ones on the outside. They do even start to fool people if you get the proportions right, thinking that they are close to dovetails. Standard spacing of the box joints does look very,
mechanical.
Mechanical. It's really built for cabinet box.
Yeah. Well, and then every single person here has probably done box joints and then had to trim a little off the side of the box.
Yep.
Because
doesn't line up.
Like that's what the gods of woodworking declared that day.
It's the sacrificial curve.
But now think about it. That we have BenchPilot, and all the time you were spent cutting those box joints because time adds up.
Yeah.
You need to replace a stock, clamp it, and hit go. And that is really where, like, these little moments start adding up throughout the day. You need to do a couple boxes. You're doing other tasks while the boxes are being cut.
Well, and so talking about somebody who, because we were hoping to talk about some up and coming woodworkers, not up and coming necessarily, some woodworkers to highlight or whatever, but. You had mentioned Kyle Kidwell, and he's somebody who's like, no, I got mouths to feed.
Yeah, totally.
And
we actually just visited him
really?
earlier this spring. Yeah.
Are you doing a video with him?
We need to drop it. Actually, we were on our way back from shooting 2 masterclass videos. One with Phil that just dropped, and then one with Adrian, which is about to Adrian Ferrazzuti, which is about to drop, and someone by Kyle's place on the way back.
That's awesome.
And Kyle Kidwell. 1-person operation, I think currently. Maybe he has 1 employee in his garage next to his house. Beautiful setup. But time is money.
Yep.
Got mouths to feed, as you say.
Well, and even just from a prototyping standpoint, he's always talking about Shaper with prototyping. He's written about it for us.
Yeah.
And but also just there are certain aspects of his furniture that the joinery would be wildly difficult. With any other method.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you're saying it there.
Sorry,
I mean,
I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No. Yeah, he's doing both. So currently, right now, the way that he's using Origin, he doesn't have a CNC machine, to my knowledge, in his shop. It's pretty small. I would say it's about 1,500 square feet.
He might have thrown a blanket over it. I don't know, man.
Maybe he threw a blanket over it. He's got a very nice sliding style.
Zach's coming in today.
Yeah.
Covered up. Kyle's great. He definitely punches above his weight class, I would say, as a furniture maker. It looks like he's got lines of furniture that he's making, right? And so he uses Origin for template making, and then some of his tables, he has this beautiful, I forget the name of the table, but it's a round table. He has 2 different sizes. One is a side table, one's, I think, a coffee table, and it's this sort of scooped detail where he hogs out the material with Origin, and there's a recessed joint in there as well. It's beautiful and it's amazing. And he said, I think this was the piece that you're talking about, or I don't really know how else I would execute this
because the leg
Origin.
becomes part of the top, and it becomes, and then the whole thing came out of his design mind.
Yeah,
and then he figured out how to do it with Origin, but it wasn't like. Kyle's definitely one of those people who the design is the most important element of anything he does.
Yeah.
He's not going to let anything be dictated by the tools.
Yeah.
But the tools have now allowed his design mind to blossom more.
I think the thing there that so Phil Morley would definitely, he's said this on camera of the first time I saw the tool, pretty sure it was a gimmick, didn't really trust it, looked fake. And then now he's had it for 6 or 7 years. I mean, now he's teaching, but in his furniture practice, there's a trust. So he'll just have a finished credenza. Great. I'm just going to go in and install this Brusso hinge just right on the fly. Just go in at this piece. This would be pretty bad if I were to mess this up.
Yep.
And Kyle, I think, has evolved to the same amount of trust with the tool. It's become integrated in his practice. So he's definitely one to check out.
I swear we didn't plan this, but Brusso hinges, everything's in the catalog, right?
Yep.
So if you've got the Brusso hinge or the sauce hinge, which gosh, if anyone's ever done that with traditional methods, That's
our first timers demo here at the show.
Yeah, that's the first demo we show
never
people.
touched the tool before you cut a sauce hinge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look, there's like 24 behind us that are cut into that plate board.
That's like the
over
most
there.
expensive thing at this show.
What, the hinges?
But
Yeah.
that's the hardware installation. That's one tool, one aspect
Yeah.
of the tool that Shaper's next level at.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Other names?
Another
We're
one.
talking about woodworkers now.
Yeah. We slid into that. I'm sorry.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
Well, like a friend of mine, Kim McIntyre,
Yeah.
artist in Seattle, woodworker, always has some interesting projects come up, and it's like, how do you solve this hard problem in hand? And recently, they were replacing a steering wheel in like an old Jaguar, and it was a wooden steering wheel with like the grip, right? And so it's like, how do you get these replacement parts? Well, you make them.
Yeah.
And you take the old one and you take it apart, and then you try to figure out how do you recreate that. And they have little, the old wooden steering wheels have grips for your fingers, and they're basically little cutouts.
Yeah.
In a radial pattern. And so they used Origin to cut out a space for the steering wheel, and then put lines where they cut with a ball nose bit through each of the angles all the way around, and also use it to like mill out old material that was like worn apart. So it's like you can set up like one whole fixture to do all these little weird tasks that, sure, you could figure out a circle jig and try to figure out the right rotation and figure out how to get a router that would slide through it. But with us, it's all digital. You draw a line and you rotate it all the way around, and you have 30 cuts to make.
Oh, so you can actually like on the machine say like,
Yeah.
this is a circle,
Yeah.
and now I need to split this into
So
20 pie pieces.
we have a little bit better control over the software in Shaper Studio, our
Okay.
kind of web app. But on the tool, you can do a lot of stuff. So you can make pin lines, and you could just make them to all these points. And so there's on tool is more simple than what you can do when you go to the computer-aided design on your phone or CAD design. But there's still a ton of things you can do in woodworking directly on the tool, which is kind of like the whole ethos of Shaper. And you're talking about hardware versus software, and it's like we really want to take the things that people want to do and make them as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't want to fumble through all these buttons. It's like, what's the minimal amount of things we can give people to get the jobs done that normally need to be done?
Not to make a non sequitur here, but
Yeah.
just to go back for 1 second. Okay, so audio only listeners, if you can hear the screeching in the background right now, or visual listeners, if you can see. So here's a first time person, never tested a tool before, and they're doing hardware installation, but not a sauce hinge. We're doing Sugetsune concealed hinges on the style of a door. And so we've got
That's like
half
Owen
a
Madden
door.
stuff.
They're expensive hinges.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is like just talking about the like trust and the live demo that we're doing at a show like this, which is like, you never used a tool before? Great. I don't know how much those hinges are. $200 hinges? Maybe they're less. Easily.
Those
yeah.
hinges go up to like $800
Yeah,
a piece when you
they're-
start going to
the big ones
fancy
are
European
crazy.
concealed
Yeah.
hinges.
And so just like go for it. Just full send.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
because-
anyway, sorry.
because- no,
Non
but I
sequitur,
mean,
but
you-
that was popping in there for a minute.
Usability wise, the hard work's been done.
Yeah.
You're just kind of moving the tool around.
Moving the tool around.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's all in the catalog.
Yeah.
Y'all have like sat there with the calipers.
Yeah.
And tested the fits.
Yeah, I mean, the hardware catalog is a good example of that. We had tons of people come by the booth and say, hey, I'm a cabinet maker. I install all these different things. How do I make the files? And it was like, you talk to enough of these people and they, you start thinking, hey, we need to build a solution for this. And our solution is we're going to make all the files, make sure they're tested and work so that all they have to do is scan a picture of it, get the file. They already know how to drive Origin.
Yeah.
We eliminate the problem.
Yeah.
And so we're continually doing that through all these products that are coming out.
So somebody else that you had talked about,
Yeah.
Aspen Golan.
Yeah.
What's Aspen been doing with the shaper that jazzes you?
So
A lot of stuff, but you could
there's
take
so
this
many.
one. We could talk
I mean,
yeah.
there's one where we're doing cutting bent lamination forms,
Yeah.
right? So using Origin to cut MDF, stack parts very quickly, and designing like kind of simple shapes in Illustrator or Shaper Studio that are just like curves. building those forms, getting them together. That's like a huge part of it.
Wait. That one so wait, we have to slow down because that one's like crazy cool. It's a tapered bent lamination form that she made for a dustpan that mates perfectly with this. If you know Aspen's work, it's like very, very Aspen. She made
very meta.
This bench brush was her first like project that she did with us that we put out in the community. And then recently we did this masterclass with her on hand tool woodworking, and the project,
which I love. I love like the company that I'm sitting there like, is it a hardware company or is it a software company? And then you're like, no, let's educate about hand tools too.
Here's the hand tool class.
You're like, because a lot of what y'all do is like, let's just educate.
What is masterclass?
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I mean, I think that's an important thing. It's like we're not trying to be. We're self-aware enough, I will say, of like, we're a company that's based in San Francisco and we're based in Germany. There's a lot of history in this craft. So much history. We're a newcomer, relatively speaking, in the grand scheme of things. We're not coming in here and saying, "Hey, Origin's going to replace all the tools in your shop." Yeah. And I think that it's important for us when we work with someone like Aspen to really show that, talk about that. You know, she
has a very solid traditional woodworking background with Bennett Street. Yep. Like that's,
and it's amazing. And she's someone who's found a way where both of these practices, if you will, where it's all part of the same thing. I don't think I'm speaking out of line with the way that she characterizes it.
Well, and her work's now like in the Museum of Modern Art.
Yeah, shout out to Aspen, his residency at the Met.
That's. I didn't think that was possible for people we know.
It's really, really cool. So tapered bent lamination form that she used with Origin to dial in this this perfect detail and iterate on it. Yep. And then so she makes this MDF form, and that's what allows her to build this form together. Okay, back to you.
And then she's doing these really cool inlays where she basically draws a face and then makes these little plaques of these like funny, unique characters. And they're perfectly inlaid with different woods, and everything's very specifically selected for grain direction and coarseness and just the amount of like things that are coming out of this. And she's really making these things that are just like really dialed in, not only in the Origin sense, but in all the other tools. So like you said, it's really about what's the best tool for the job. And sometimes it's Origin, sometimes it's not. Yeah. And that's okay. We're totally happy for that.
But she knows that you need to be well versed in all of these different options.
Correct.
And so that bench brush she uses as a platform to teach hand tool woodwork. Yeah. And Origin is a really quick way for her to knock out the blanks to teach that. So it's not she does this sort of step detail that then she comes back with a rasp and a file and spoke shave, and so students learn that process. But Origin just gets the rough blank for her, and it's a way to get it quickly, and she can iterate on the idea. But she's not like trying to nail the perfect form with a digital tool like Origin.
Kim's the same way. I kind of thought you were going to say that they were taking a spoon knife to do the back of because they're just as apt to use all of those tools. So
and it depends what you're going for. If you're going for very uniform versus very handcrafted, there's different tools for those jobs, and sometimes they're applying the hand tools to the more standardized things. So like when we built the bench brush years ago, Aspen was also like, I don't know if this tool is going to help actually, because I think I've dialed it in, with my bandsaw and the way we're doing it. But when we started kind of prototyping ways to make Origin do it, and now when she makes the bench brushes, she's using Origin. Yeah. It's removing waste very quickly, giving a real fine line of like where to remove it manually later. And it's just like, I think Origin's a tool where it's kind of hard to understand where you're going to use it up front sometimes. And the more you use it, the more it's like, oh, wow, I didn't realize it could do this. And I didn't realize it could do that. And it starts becoming second nature. And, the people that I see that use Origin the most, they have Origin set up on the workstation in their shop, like basically ready to be plugged in at any time. And it just kind of starts working into all these workflows. Yeah.
So who else were you've got?
Oh yeah.
So what is this competition that you were telling us?
What is this thing? This very crumpled thing from my backpack from Ligna. Okay, so Ligna, one of Europe's biggest trade shows. There's Ligna and there's Holzhandwerk, and then here in the U.S. we have IWF and AWFS as like our two big shows.
Yep.
I was over there recently, and I brought back the 2025 finalists of the Good Form contest, which all of the guilds, students who are becoming master joiners, they're in a 7-year apprenticeship program, compete in this. And I mean, I don't know, like if you thumb through this, like the furniture that is being turned out for some of these masterpieces is just next level gorgeous. The detail and the
shame
craftsmanship.
you can't see this, folks.
Yeah, it's a shame.
We will post links and do what we can to get some of this in the video.
The reason that I brought this was one of the, so if we're talking about, up and coming woodworkers or people that, folks might not know about, is just the next generation of woodworkers, broadly speaking, and what are they doing? And so this just blew me away, seeing some of these pieces in person at Ligna. We have a loaner program in our Germany office where students who are doing some of these, they're creating their masterpiece to be approved to be a master joiner. And we have a loaner program where they'll lend them an Origin for 6 months to use as part of their part of their program. Many of them end up just buying a tool at the end. But yeah, we've rotated that now. We have about 60 of them that have gone through this. So that's happening in Europe, and then in the U.S. we're in about just under 300 schools in the U.S. and we're participating in Skills USA. But it's really cool just seeing what the younger generation is doing, not just with Origin, just broadly speaking, pushing the craft forward.
Well,
so
I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about making woodworking more accessible. And she was like, dude, accessibility is not just about price point. It's about what people are comfortable with. And there's a whole bunch of people out there that are way more comfortable dialing something in on a computer screen. They see Shaper Origin. I know how to make that thing do the thing. And they're scared to death of a table saw. And I totally get it, but like, there's so much to be said for the power of these digital tools making a whole new generation more comfortable to start woodworking.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for you, but I'll hold it.
All right. I was going to say the interesting thing about Origin versus some of the other digital tools, though, is it's hands-on at the same time. So these kids are... we'll be at a trade show and a kid will walk up. I don't even have to tell them what to do. They just get it. They know click. They know where they're moving, and it's like they can touch the screen.
Green, one button's red,
and it's just
green
like
is go, red is stop. Yep.
I think we are going to see a lot more of these types of tools, but it's one of those things where it's not go to the computer, design for a couple days, then go to the CNC and hit go, and maybe it comes out right or not.
Yeah.
And I think within, we have like a classroom guide, and in the classroom guide, it's like we have a project where the kids get to walk away with something in like 30 minutes.
Which is so powerful.
Yeah.
And a lot of these schools, they don't have a ton of time.
Yeah.
So they're not teaching kids how to cut dovetails for 6 weeks, Who
had wood shop? I mean, this is the thing, like, if we talk about like, all right, well, what's happening with the craft? Well, like, where is it at in schools today? And it's rough. Like, a lot of schools don't have wood shop. I mean, did you have wood shop?
I did.
I feel like we all were probably of like maybe one of the last
generations. We were the last.
Yeah.
Yep.
We made an Adirondack chair. We made
We had radial arm saws.
Oh, heck yes, we did. Yep.
I don't think we had radial arm saws.
And
a
it
lot
shows.
of band saws.
It shows.
Yes, it does. I'm showing all 10 of my fingers.
They got there's if you read about the like where the skills gap in America, all of the politicians getting on the soapbox, it's like everyone, 4-year college degree, go.
Yeah.
And that has, created a skills gap in America. And also a lot of those wood shops got, there's a need for STEAM education. We're a proponent of that as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of those like wood shops, if you speak with schools, like what's in there now are like cool tools still, 3D printers. If you're lucky, you have a 3D printer and a laser cutter, maybe a CNC machine. But like the wood shop experience that we all had of like go hands-on is it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that we're trying to invest in and change. And it's weird because the digital screen is kind of the an entry point. You watch a fifth grader use this tool, and they know how to use it better than the teacher.
I bet you. Now, we're not going to like let 3-year-olds go hog wild with this, right? But I bet you a 3-year-old could probably learn it pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about screen time. But, yeah.
But I do have faith in this whole conversation, though, because I came home a year ago or whatever, and my kid was studying a thing. I was like, what are you studying? He was like, we have a quiz on the drill press. And I was like, yes.
Whoa.
I was so excited. And
Wow.
he's used a drill press his whole life, but he was having to learn the names of all of the parts of the drill press.
The real safety way to use it.
Not the way Dad uses it.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guys think about bridging the gap in the, I don't know, like hybridization of CNC and traditional tools? I mean, if we think about where the craft is.
I think I know myself, I need to be more open-minded about the way that I perceive tools and processes.
Yeah.
And like what I was saying, because, even just what is approachability? It is not just a financial thing. It is not just it's an access thing, but it's also a comfort level thing. So I'm still wrapping my head around it, because all of a sudden I'm sitting there saying that, my kid is not going to learn woodworking the way that I learned woodworking. And that's okay. As long if he doesn't want to woodwork at all, that's okay too, right?
As long as the dovetails are hand cut.
Right.
As long as the legs are riff, song, grain. But no, I don't know what the answers are, but I do think the fact that we're now having these conversations and being more open-minded about wood shop as we know it is probably not happening anymore. But
we need to change that.
But do we need to bring back the radial arm saws? No.
Yeah, great question. but if we don't bring right. So it's how do we bring it back in a way that's with the times, still gets back to the essence of what it's about: problem solving, creativity, using your brain to create something, having that experience of, oh my gosh, I just assembled the box.
Yeah.
I just assembled the joint. And
there's a few shop teacher friends out there that I have that are teaching wood technology in really creative ways. There's a guy, Roy Castillo, who's actually at the show with the Fresh Wood Show. And some of the things he's doing with the students, teaching about bent lamination, freeform bent lamination around a glass bottle and stuff like that, where they're cutting out random shapes and then they're making these things. And it's just
way better than an Adirondack chair.
They're actually learning about wood as from a material science level. There's he's teaching them about reading the parts of a tree or the grain orientation through oversized Jenga blocks and saying, well, look at the growth rings here. It's probably a little bit looser compared to the other ones where the growth rings are running the other way.
Cool.
And it's these kids are quite honestly learning wood at a deeper level than we were making a lamp at the bandsaw. Yep. So not that either's right or wrong. But
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I learned a lot making my birdhouse in 7th grade, actually.
Shout out to birdhouses.
First thing I made was a Star Trek logo clock for my cousin.
Wow.
And she still has it 40 years later or 35 years later. So
Yeah. My birdhouse is still hanging in the tree in the backyard.
Right on. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah.
Painted the outside a couple times to, keep the
What-
moisture out.
What was your first wood shop?
My first wood. Do you really want me to answer this? It was
I
a
don't know.
mahogany roll top desk.
Oh,
Straight up, and it is
fancy.
currently sitting in my garage. It has been through the ringer. I'll send you a
Never
picture
tell
of it.
people this again.
Well, that's why I asked if you wanted to know.
Throwdown.
No. Okay, hold on.
All right, Zach. Now what's yours?
No comment. Logan's I was contested in the good form competition.
Well,
and,
no.
I won it, actually?
No. We did have one in Iowa that I did win.
wait, Skills USA? Or
I don't remember. That was 20 years ago.
okay,
Zach.
probably
I don't
didn't.
remember.
It probably didn't exist.
I don't think so.
Skills existed. Yeah.
But there was a radial arm saw involved.
Yes. Oh, yes, there was. And a unisaw. I know.
Pour one out for my old unisaw.
Yep.
Well, so what are you all? So we've got BenchPilot, we've got people making hinges. Are you like? What are these shows like for you otherwise? Other than tiring.
Okay.
Well, they're tiring for some people, and for other people, they're energizing.
So we have the extrovert of the
We do.
group.
An extrovert woodworker.
That's odd.
I mean, they are a lot of work, but it's a time to connect with the customers. A lot of Origin owners come up and show us what they're building, bring problems to us, bring, really incredible projects that you don't get to see every day. And people who don't post on Instagram.
Yeah, I know.
People who have a camera roll full of their projects, amazing woodworking projects, come up. I have Origin. I want to show you what I do with it. And that's just like, as a person who builds tools, that's what I care about. What is the tool building for other people?
Yeah.
And it's kind of the best thing about the shows for me.
Yeah.
Best.
I have a slightly different answer. What are these? Dusty. We're making a lot of sawdust in this.
Yeah, you are.
And it's funny because I think that
You got dust
ourselves
collection.
and what's that?
You got dust collections.
We've got dust collection. Yeah, we got dust collection. We're making a lot of sawdust though. We're cutting a lot of different things. We're doing just like basic shapes that you can design directly on tool for people who have never used the tool before. We're doing joinery. We're doing hardware installation. We're doing inlays. But a lot of it is for folks who have never touched it before. Honestly, saying, I've seen the YouTube videos. Does this thing really work? And you're like, here you go, try it out.
Yeah.
So there's that. Because if we're making a tool that has been around for 150 years, or if we're making a table saw, we don't need to run it here. We need to run Origin here. So it's a lot of hands-on, first-time experience, which is, I would say, yes.
Yeah.
Energizing, sure, because it's exciting to see first-time reactions of getting over that hump of, it really works.
I always think shows are like, I am not the extrovert. They're wildly tiring for me, but there is this thing about the person pulling their phone out and saying, hey, I built this thing, you got the thing. And it's like a little shot of enthusiasm. It's like a booster shot of enthusiasm that sometimes it's just like, yeah, we got a pretty cool job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're making stuff that other people are making stuff with or from or whatever, and that's...
Or showing them how to make that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all wood nerds.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of wood nerds in the world these days. So, like, when you come to something like this, that's everybody.
Yeah.
And so the conversations are very centered in a certain way, where a normal day with friends isn't always about woodworking. And so here
you need better friends.
Yeah, I know. Don't tell them.
It is slightly unfortunate that we all have to travel to Las Vegas where it's 110 degrees in order
In the
to
middle
do
of
one
summer.
of these. So shout out to, we need more woodworking shows. We need more smaller scale. Yeah.
Everybody needs to come out to woodworking shows and make sure they're still around.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else y'all want to talk about, or?
I think we kind of covered the basis. I mean,
we're really excited to get BenchPilot out.
Yeah.
I think it's something people have been talking about for years. They love Origin driving it, but every once in a while, it's just, how do I get rid of that time? And it's like, here it is. It's here now. And so we're excited to see what people make with it, how they use it, keep building the Shaper ecosystem.
Okay, and just because we have to ask, what's the thing that you're not supposed to tell us about that's coming down the road? Trying to trick you.
Oh, you're trying to trick me. That thing that could be coming down the road.
Yeah.
It's coming down the road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's coming down the road.
I don't know. Just thought maybe we could get an exclusive.
You heard it here. Exclusive, nothing.
Exclusively down the road.
BenchPilot's coming shipping this fall. Some early customers in August, and
Is there software? Is there a firmware update that needs to happen to the machine?
Everyone's going to need a software update in order for Origin to connect. Yeah, I guess that's the one thing that we didn't say is, right, you clip it in to BenchPilot, goes, and then you just unclip it, and you keep using Origin like you normally would manually. Yeah. So that's the software update. That's what's required. That's it.
And then it'll just run.
Yep.
just run. And
Amazing.
we'll probably, I think we're on box probably number 150 or so. And in Germany, we made
600 in
over
5 days, 4 days.
Yeah, a little over 600 of these
Wow.
boxes in 5 days. So
All right, well,
box factory.
get going.
Yeah, I got to get back to it.
All right, thank you both.
Thanks for having
Thank you.
us.
Yeah.
Well, that does it for this edition of Shop Talk Live. Thank you to Zach and Shawn for joining us on this episode. Thank you to Logan for joining us on this episode. It's great to have a little bit of collaboration between the two entities. We're going to post a link in the show notes and in the doobly-doo below to Shaper Tools events page, or you could head on over to shapertools.com/find us, one word, shapertools.com/find us, and see if they're coming to an area near you, and you can get your hands on a Shaper Origin and see just how easy it is and how intuitive it is to use. All right, we'll be back in 1 week with another episode. Thanks for listening.